Hello and welcome to Crazy Carl's Crazy Philosophy. Today I'll be explaining how synchronicity is atemporal and how time plays a role with synchronistic events. I highly suggest watching my previous videos if you haven't already, especially if you aren't very familiar with the subject of synchronicity. So to start, time and space are one thing, right? Synchronicity as it happens is atemporal. That means that time doesn't limit its influence, and if time doesn't, and time and space are essentially one thing, then space doesn't limit its influence either. Thinking about time is something other than the linear concept we're used to. It can be a difficult thing for most people. But time doesn't give a fuck what you think about it. It works in the way that it works regardless. Time is actually not linear. Time is not the past to the present and the future in an infinite progression with no change of direction. Time is the past, the present, and the future at the same time. All of the time. That's not what most of us have been taught, so it might be kind of hard to grasp. But if you've ever been aware of basically any actual synchronicities, time working in that way explains how synchronicities work and should be quite obvious from that. Now let me give you an example and an exercise. Pick up a book, any book. I'll wait. Got one? Good. Now think of a question in your head and randomly open a page and read the first sentence your eyes go to. Now it's probably very abstract, but try to see if you can make sense of that sentence as an answer. That is sticchiomancy. But let's think about it for a second. That book you're holding was probably written a long time ago. The author doesn't know you exist. There's no rational way that that sentence was written for you, but it makes sense, right? Now maybe through time and space, working in the way that it actually works, that author was subconsciously influenced by your question. Maybe you were influenced by that book being right there all that time. Who's crediting who, right? Well, time and synchronicity are funny things. Obviously, for something like that to work, time plays a different role than we're used to. It could be a book written hundreds of years ago, but it's still relevant. It always is if you think deep enough about it. Synchronicity isn't bound by the way we think time works. It's completely atemporal. And I know this hasn't been the best video explaining this shit, but for some reason I had trouble with this one. The next video though I think you'll really enjoy and understand easier. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Peace.